On a summer morning in late June 1863, a line of Federal gunboats and transports plied northwest up the Pamunkey River into Confederate territory just east of Richmond. Peering into a light fog, the pilots guided the procession through a channel so narrow in places there was hardly room for some of the steamers to turn around. The flotilla twisted through 8 hairpin curves, one after the other, a path that transformed a dozen miles by land into a much longer journey. Cavalryman George Cruikshank, an Iowan serving in the 11th Pennsylvania aboard one of the transports, found the waterway one of the most winding rivers I ever saw. As the boats churned around the final bend, White House Landing came into view on the south shore, the site of the Army of the Potomac's base of operations a year earlier during George B. McClellan's ill-fated Peninsula Campaign against Richmond. Just upstream from the landing in the distance, the piers of the Richmond and York River Railroad Bridge spanned the channel. The flotilla steamed past a group of black women and children on the bank waving a white flag and enthusiastically cheering. On the boats themselves, blue-clad cavalrymen prepared to disembark at the wharfs on the port side and proceed to the fields of the White House plantation beyond, 50 acres of grassy meadow brimming with clover, mottled here and there with blackberry patches. The Federal horse soldiers were not the only troops moving that day. 150 miles to the north, on the banks of the Potomac, Robert E. Lee urged his Army of Northern Virginia toward Pennsylvania as part of an expedition that would bring his troops to the town of Gettysburg less than a week later. While Lee's columns tramped north, the Federal boats at White House Landing unloaded 1,000 cavalrymen and horses a mere 20 miles east of Richmond. Soon after, thousands of additional Federal troops would arrive. The date was Thursday, June 25, 1863, and another offensive against the rebel capital had begun.